What's up, y'all? I want to talk about our initial plans for reopening. Of course, we don't know the exact date that's going to happen, but I talked about in the last post in the email that I sent out of having our own phases for reopening. So I just wanted to go into a little bit more detail about what we're thinking and kind of like what would be your process for coming into the gym. First and foremost, RSVP for class. That is going to be required, and we are going to want you to do that on your phone or from your personal computer. We're not going to be touching the computer here at the gym. So this is also going to be where we want you to park, because the entrance is going to be this door behind me, and then the exit is going to be out one of the garage doors or the other front door that's facing Clark Street. So you'll come into the gym. Come on, Shelby. And you're going to have a hand sanitizer station set up right here, likely at the desk or close to the desk when you come in. So you'll sanitize your hands when you come in, either with the hand sanitizer or bathroom, and wash your hands. Of course, the Wodify station is going to be up. We'll have the workout on there, but we're not going to want you to touch the keyboard, touch the computer. All that's going to be from your phone. But one of the advantages of this is we're going to try to open it up so that you can reserve or plan a week in advance. So I'm gonna have to go in and look exactly what Wodify allows us to do. But I would like for you guys to be able to go in and a week in advance and say, hey, I'm gonna try to hit Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or whatever class that you want to come to at noon, and you can go ahead and lock those spots up. Of course, we're coming out of the gate anticipating that we're going to have to cap the capacity in the building at 10, which would mean one coach and 9 people in a class. That's just a guess. It might be less than that. I don't anticipate it being more than that. But we would want you to go ahead and RSVP, and then also we would want you to stick to the class that you register. So in other words, if you do a registration and a no-show, we're going to charge you a fee for that, because we do anticipate the classes being in high demand, especially here at the beginning phases as we're slowly transitioning in. We do anticipate there will be fewer classes and, of course, fewer slots within a class. So I do think the demand will be high, and we don't want to block off a spot and have people not showing up when someone else could have came to that slot. So Shelby, come here. And so this is how we have everything set up. There's 9 squares in the gym, 10 by 10 squares. And you're actually, to begin with at least, you're going to bring your kettlebell or your dumbbell into the gym with you, and you'll take it back home with you. And the reason that we're going to start this way is if for some reason they have to go back to a previous phase, if they see the data, they don't like where things are headed, and they say, hey, gyms, we're going to have to shut down gyms again. We don't want to be in a position where everybody brought their equipment back, and then we have 2 more weeks where people don't have equipment. So we're going to make sure when you do bring your equipment back that you're not going to need it again, hopefully for a while. If you have a bag or anything, you're going to immediately come into your square. And so we have everything numbered, and the number will correspond with the slot that you sign into on Wodify. So if you're the first one to reserve a spot in class, this will be your square that you come to. You'll set your gym bag down in this square. We're not going to be using cubbies. We're not going to be using the lounge area or anything like that. And then another advantage of pre-reserving your spot in class is the coach is going to be able to look at exactly who's coming in the class. And so we're going to be able to anticipate what equipment you need, how you're going to approach the workout, what you need to modify, and things of that nature. So you'll come into your square. The equipment will already be set up for the most part within your square. You may have to make some adjustments to the weight on the barbell. You may need a different kettlebell weight or whatever it may be. But the coach will get that for you. So in other words, we don't want 5 people going over to the weight stack and trying to grab weights at the same time. And so it's a little different. It's a little annoying, but this is the way that we think things can be safe and at least here to start with. So you'll come into your square. What we will not have in the square are the assault bikes and the rowers. And so behind me, we'll have those set up. We'll have those appropriately spaced apart, and we'll have the workout structured so that we're not running into each other. We're not overlapping on machines. we'll have them structured. So for example, if you are using the rower, it'll be a row into the rest of the workout, which you'll do inside your square or some variation of that. In other words, you won't go back to the rower. When you're done with the rower, a coach will wipe it off. Someone may cycle in behind you, whether it's the rower or the bike, but we won't be going on someone else's a machine that somebody else has just been on, breathing on, sweating on, and all that stuff. So we'll have to get a little creative with the workouts, with the rowers. Same thing with the pull-up bar, squat racks, and all that. But it's going to open things up, and it's going to allow us to start utilizing those pieces of equipment. So that's kind of our idea, is everything will be within your designated square. You're going to stay in your square. Of course, if you got to use the restroom or anything like that, you could definitely do that. But we do want you to try to use the restroom before you come in, so that we're not having a bunch of people having to walk through and go to the bathroom and things like that. So pretty much you'll stay in your designated area for the most part. That way we're not being loose on things, and then before you know it, it's like we don't even need to have the social spacing at all if we don't really stay strict and really enforce these things. Because I do think it's important, especially here at the beginning. We'd rather be more conservative than we need to be. So that's how it'll work. And then what you would do, you would already have a cleaning supplies and everything inside your box. And so after the workout's over, everything will be wiped down. And then you will, on your phone, if you wanted to log your scores, definitely we want you to keep track of everything, keep tracking your fitness, tracking your results for your workouts. You would do that there. We would do our cool down, we would do our mobility in our own designated box. And then when the workout's over, you will exit out one of these doors or that door. And you may have to walk around to the parking lot, which is fine, but we don't want people trying to squeeze through that tight door over there that's facing Dickinson. As we start, we're just gonna have morning, noon, and evening class, so we won't have that problem. But as we get deeper into it, as we start stacking classes one on top of each other, like in the evening where we normally have 4, 5, 6, 7, we're gonna have to figure out a way to do that, whether it's the classes are a little bit shorter or whether we space them apart. But we'll touch base with you and we'll let you know exactly how we're doing that. Kind of sucks in the sense of we can't hang out and socialize and see each other before and after class like we normally do. But that's something that we're trying to prevent so that we're not all up on each other. But just from what we're doing from a business perspective, trying to make sure that we're being responsible. So that's kind of our general thoughts on things. So you'll stay within your boxes. The coaches will be able to still coach everybody, and we're going to obviously try to stay away from like tactile cueing where the coach is coming up on you. The coaches are basically going to stay outside of your box, and your box is a 10 by 10 space. So it's going to be plenty of room. If you have a barbell and a kettlebell and a box in your box, you should still be able to move around, feel comfortable, have plenty of space. And it's going to be a nice way to transition back into the gym. So those are just our general thoughts. And then of course, like in between classes, the coaches are going to be going around, wiping down the door handles, wiping down the bathroom, wiping down just anything that anybody may have been in contact with. So it's really, really going to be highly controlled. And we'll also have some guidelines like, hey, if you're somebody that had to travel, give it 14 days. And of course, if you're feeling like you might be sick, don't come to the gym. If you've been around someone that might have been sick or that even might have been traveling, don't come to the gym just to keep it safe. And so, like I said, we're going to try to be really, really conservative here at the start. And then as we get deeper into this and we can kind of look at the data and all those good things, hopefully we'll be able to start loosening things up and get back to what we would normally do. But hey, some of these things that we're doing right now, you may like, we may like, and we may decide to roll with it. So these are just kind of my general thoughts, our general thoughts. We had a meeting about it and we've been talking about it. We all want to be back in here, but at the same time, we're not going to make quick emotional decisions just because we feel like it's not fair and we should be in here. We're going to get things in place. We're going to make sure that we're ready, but at the same time, we're going to be smart about it. We're going to be responsible, and we're going to make sure you guys are staying safe, that y'all are comfortable when you're coming into the gym, and then also that we're being socially responsible, because we know everybody's going to be going out into the community, and you know, there's a chance that you might be around other people and things like that. So that's kind of where our head's at. But fill out that survey. That's going to give us a general idea of what you're thinking, and we appreciate your feedback. We need your feedback because we want to make good decisions. We want you to be involved into it because we are a community, and what you guys think is important to us. So if you have any additional questions, you can drop them below, and we'll go from there.